Today we're going to take a look at this nickel that's right on top here. This is the 1980 Philadelphia Mint U.S. nickel, and it has something really special about it. Not just it's in this great condition, and this is from a uncirculated mint set. It's kind of a PDS set. It has Philadelphia, Denver, and a Susan B. San Francisco Mint dollar in it. But this is the star of the show for me. It was something that changed in 1980, and it was kind of a surprise, but we'll talk about why they did it and what was different about the 1980p as we go through this. Well, in 1980, they decided to go back and put the P on there. They did something else too a little earlier. Now they decided to put the initials of the engraver on, Felix Schlag. So you notice these initial, these beginning nickels, none of them had the initials of the engraver Felix Schlag on them down here below Jefferson. That didn't come until 1966. So the 1980 nickels, they brought the P back. So now it's got the initials and it's got the P. And this is just a fantastic looking nickel. This again is from a uncirculated mint set. It says, "In God We Trust," in front of Jefferson. And if you can find these uncirculated mint sets from 1980, I would buy one. These aren't hugely valuable nickels, but they're worth $5 or $6 each, in part just because I think when Philadelphia came back with them, they decided to take a lot of care. Look at the little details on the shirt, the details in the hair, the eyes. The Philadelphia Mint, I think we're pretty proud of being able to put the mint marks on them. They made this really, really nice set of coins in 1980. We tip it on the back, and that's where the money is in these coins, and this actually is pretty darn good too. We have almost 5 full steps on here, pretty darn close. We see all the stuff around the top. On the sides we're not seeing much for the steps, but that came a little bit later. The modern nickels have some good steps on here. These 1980 nickels are not going to have them, but this is a pretty nice coin. It says United States of America at the bottom, 5 cents above it, Monticello, and then here's the building Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home, and then up at the top it says E Pluribus Unum. These nickels worth $5 or $6. The same can be said for the Denver nickel. Now notice the difference in color on these, and that sometimes these nickels start to get this patina or coloring, and a lot of collectors like them. So this one doesn't have much of it on it. It's much really kind of the nickel. And of course, when we talk about nickel, it's not fully nickel, it's a copper nickel blend. This is a Denver Mint one. At Philly in 1980, they made $593 million. At Denver, they made $502. So they made a little over $1 billion of these. And then at the San Francisco Mint, right here, they only made the proof coins. And you can tell just by the difference in this and the shine. There's the S down there. San Francisco Mint, they only made $3.5 million. But because these are all in great condition, you get a proof 65 of one of these, and it's worth about $1. It's, you know, they're fine coins, but because they all look pretty good. And then, of course, look at this one. This is a proof coin. Steps are so hard to do on these nickels. So I'm going to move this over to the side, and I'm going to show you some of these really kind of used-looking ones down at the bottom. 1938, with no mint mark on here. A 1938 no mint mark. In a 1938 no mint mark, but turn the darn thing over. The mint mark in 1938 was on the back. So this is the first year that they made Jefferson nickel. It says, "In God We Trust," in front of Jefferson, Liberty behind him, a 1938 here, and there's a star between the 1938 and the Liberty. And then if we look way down here at the bottom, we see, you guessed it, nothing. No mint mark on the front, no initials on the front. We turn it over though, we look at the top because we know that there were nickels that they made and they put the mint mark on the top. Not this one. The mint marks on these when they first made them are right over there. And there you go. You can see there's an S mint mark here for the San Francisco Mint from 1938. So there's one of them. Let's turn this one over. Blank mint mark. So blank mint mark, we know that's Philadelphia, right? So in 1938 when they first made these, no mint mark for Philadelphia, S mint mark for San Francisco, and a D mint mark for Denver. In December of 1941, the United States entered World War II. And In 1942, a couple months later, they decided to change the composition of the nickels so that they could use the nickel and the copper in these, and they came out with a silver nickel. And you can tell the difference between these whenever you see them. And people don't polish or shine these up. You're going, why is it so dirty and dark? Well, part of the dirty and dark is the manganese that they put in it. They put that in as a blend with the silver. But part of it is just it's old and you don't polish these. And you can see how worn they get. So this one is about 40% silver. They brought it out in 1942, and they put a P on the top. They moved the mint mark from here to up there for the silver nickels, just to show that they were different. And you can see the 1942 on there, of course. That they kept these nickels with the P and the D and the S over the dome in 42, 43, 44, and 45. In 1946, they just went right back to the no P nickel. And you still had the D and the S. There's a 1980 S, there's a 1980 D, and here is the winner for today, the 1980 P. Philadelphia finally gets its due and gets to put the P mint mark back on the nickel.